Dear friends, good morning. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you, and I'm so ashamed to keep you waiting. Fortunately, I had to eat like this very, very big sandwich with sausage and ketchup, and also my lady made this amazing bread that you put in the oven, and I had to eat at least some of it because it was just so good. And frankly, I'm starving. Sorry for stealing 7 minutes of your time. Yeah, so as always, it's a pleasure to see you, my friends. We have a lot of very, very good updates coming from not only Ukraine, but also at least 10 different regions of the terrorist federation. It's so good. It's so good. And not only that, we also have several good, let's say, encouraging updates coming from the United States as well. But I will talk about this in just a second. Oh my god, I literally, I couldn't. We can tell you have. Oh. Yeah. Guys, I'm very, very sorry. Actually, my lady also mentioned it, but I missed it. All right. Let's jump straight into our update compilation. So first of all, let's talk about things that took place a bit earlier. As you know, Ukrainian strikes on the Russian oil refineries work much better than any sort of sanctions, because on this map, for example, we can see all the reports coming from terrorist federation regarding the strikes and fuel deficit. All right. So this stuff is just so inspiring. All right. Russia, of course, will be saying that there is absolutely nothing healthier, nothing better, and nothing more beneficial for the terrorist federation as sanctions. But of course, they're not saying the same about the Ukrainian sanctions that are usually being delivered by good Ukrainian drones. Jukia and KA and Heater. Hello, Heater and Hunter Pesa and Steve and Jason, Beep, Wayne's Word of Science and Technology, also our brave moderators, Katie, and Newman and Ellie. Ellie still doesn't sleep, by the way. Betsy, hello. It's kind of late in the United States, or rather early. I literally woke up 6 a.m. this morning. No, I'm lying. I woke up 5 a.m. this morning because I had an interview at 6 a.m. my time, all right? And it was really, really cool. And the fact I was sleepy because it was already morning, and the person I interviewed was sleepy because it was already late in the United States. So I cannot even imagine. How Ellie keeps herself running. I think she has a lot of coffee, just like me. Yeah, but speaking about Ryazan, I think we should first of all mention Russian Bryansk. All right. Because in Bryansk, another substation was attacked, as you can see yourself, and generally the strikes in the terrorist federation were reported in 10 different regions, making me absolutely happy because karma is a bitch, all right? So we can see these fires and explosions in Trubchevsk, Russian Trubchevsk. Also a fire at the heating and and power station were reported in Smolensk Oblast of the Terrorist Federation. Doesn't look bad, all right. So if they freeze, for example, somewhere in the Bryansk or Smolensk Oblast, they can literally take their kids and go to this amazing flame, get a bit warmer, all right, sing songs, talk, enjoy life, watch beautiful firework. That will definitely cheer them up. Also, we have confirmation since yesterday that the Russian chemical plant in Bryansk was also improved just a bit by the good Ukrainian drones. So the reason it was improved is because this specific Russian chemical plant is producing powder explosives and rocket fuel. And if it produced, for example, toys for kids, if it produced books for schools, if it produced something good, if it even produced porcelain toilets for the Russian citizens, Ukrainians would never hit it, all right? Ukrainians would ignore it as much as they can. But the very fact that it doesn't produce anything good, but just a lot of shit designed to kill that the Russian Federation is full of, well, basically that is the result. The General Staff of Ukraine reported that on 21st of October, Ukrainian Air Force, together with Ukrainian Land Force, Navy, and other branches, hit Bryansk chemical plant. They also confirmed that the storm shadows were used to pass through the Russian air defense. The details on the results of the strike are still being collected. But again, this is a very, very big, powerful factory that produces plenty of explosives, plenty of different military things. All right. How many factories producing? How many factories producing, for example, what good do they produce? Skis, all right. Ski. People like skiing, all right. Kids like skiing. How many factories do they have in the Terrorist Federation producing freaking ski for kids? I think much less than fucking oil refineries and plants producing explosives, ammo, shells, bombs, drones. I think they have much more of those, right? So we have to equalize. We have to make sure their number shrinks. Generally, if you produce a lot of stuff that kills, that is something that naturally results in your nation being called terrorists, right? You gotta make more skis, make more toys for children, educate them, all right? Don't give them AKs, give them Lego. We need to make some marshmallows, says Larry. I don't mind. Frankly speaking, I am still very, very hungry. Like, I ate just a single sandwich and a piece of that bread still there with jam on it waiting for me. And by the way, I'm vaping zero nicotine stuff. Das ist Vusgo ohne Nicotine. So let's return to our news updates and stuff. First of all, yesterday and this morning, there were several nasty strikes on Ukraine as well. Yesterday, I couldn't report on that because my voice got fucked so bad. But we know that terrorists hit several civilian facilities. Yesterday they hit a kindergarten in Kharkiv, and this morning they hit kindergarten in Kyiv. So we can see the tendency that continues, that basically Russians admit that they are war criminals and motherfuckers with every strike they commit against Ukrainians. We had reports about heating and power stations that were attacked in Kyiv region, also in Zaporizhia and Poltava, Dnipro, Sumy, and Odessa. Specifically Odessa, there are quite a few big strikes on Izmail, also the port facilities. You can see the path taken by the terror Russian drones and missiles to hit their targets in Ukraine. But besides that, Ukraine survived. Ukraine hit back. Here on your screens you can see Saransky Mechanichesky Zavod in the terror Russian Mordovia. That is a mechanical plant that was visited by good Ukrainian drones, bringing Russian citizens happiness, joy, and plenty of fireworks. Yay! The Russians, one interesting thing about their nature, like for example, when they see fireworks, they scream, bля, when they see, for example, Ukrainian drones landing somewhere in their power plant or some weapons producing facility, they also scream, bля, only in first case it's bля, in the second case it's bля. That's exactly what we can see in this video. Like, check this out. Yeah. Confirmed. So, we have a very good impact in this Saransky mechanical plant. We also have several videos coming from freaking Dagestan. My friends, why drone is flying, wants to fall down. So yesterday Dagestan was under a massive drone strike. Hello Augusta, hello my friend, how are you doing? It was good. David, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your support. Dagestan, how many kilometers from Ukraine Dagestan is? Something like 1,000 at least. All right, and we can observe good Ukrainian drones flying. You speak your own language much better than the fucking rectal Russian dialect. Please do. Like, don't be ashamed of your roots. You are a proud Dagestani person. Why do you do that? Oh my god. And he or she, I cannot tell you if it was like a woman or just like a boy or something like that, but this person said, look, there is a drone flying and it wants to fall down. Apparently, of course it wants to fall down. What did you expect? Oh my god. There's another one. Yeah, the manly voice on the background says that four UAVs were spotted. We can hear the Dagestani citizens trying to intercept those drones flying at Dagestan, but Ukrainian drones know how to dodge the bullets. In most cases, because yesterday they kinda managed to shut down just a couple of them. All right. So in Makhachkala and the very oil refinery in Makhachkala, Dagnefteprodukt, was hit, as we can see on this video. For example, the good Ukrainian drone is striking something that looks like one of the towers. There you can see that it hit some of the towers. It's bad news for Russian drivers, very, very good news for the rest of the world. Makhachkala, have a great morning. Also in Makhachkala, we have another photo showing, for example, this building, all right? And this building received a damage, okay? This building received some kind of damage. How do you think, what is this thing on the corner of it? This, like, chevron. I suspect that it might be KGB, might be FSB. FSB logo. Yes, could be FSB. Or, for example, GRU. I need images. No, GRU has like a different one. But this one looks pretty much like it, right? Like this chevron right here. So, judging from this footage, I believe that Ukrainian drones also managed to hit some FSB-related Russian facilities. The very chevron, the very logo was, I think, maybe removed prior to this attack. You know, of course, they don't want to risk their facilities in the area, but doesn't help much. Also, we have additional footage coming from the Russian mechanical plant in Saransky power plant. Yeah, that's the one with the blядь. And also Ukrainian monitoring channels, those that monitor the terror Russian drones and missiles, actually reports FSB, fucking stupid bitches. Yeah, that's genius. So Ukrainian monitoring channels that monitor Russian drones and missiles also report that one of the Russian Kinjals that were launched literally yesterday could have hit some of Russian targets on the Russian territory because it didn't go to Ukraine for some reasons nobody can explain. Yeah, so the main news of yesterday were regarding the Makhachkala oil refinery and Saransky mechanical plant in Mordovia, but unfortunately we had some more footage coming from Kharkiv regarding the kindergarten that was hit by the Russian terrorists. Unfortunately, yeah, a lot of Ukrainian kids had very much escalated reaction to the Russian strike, reaction to the stress, and 7 people were injured and 1 unfortunately died. But despite being a news update, it's unfortunately not surprising to Ukrainians, to the international community, because this is basically the answer to why we are fighting against the Russian terrorism and why degenerate Russian terrorist culture and ideology should be cancelled around the world and should be absolutely banned and prosecuted. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm being fascist towards Russians, all right? Tell me if it's not justified. Ukrainian Security Service, the legendary Ukrainian SBU, showed new generation of Sea Baby drones. I believe that you already know about this one. These are able to carry what I can see. I spy with my tiny sleepy eye. Something that looks like launch tubes. Those launch tubes could be either air-to-air missiles or something like MLRS, all right? Something like MLRS. Could be either. Could be even a launch tube for like a missile/drone, like for example something like Switchblade, right? Oh, that's actually very, very interesting. And here you can see, for example, that not only they have like those launch tubes, all right, for whatever. They also come, for example, equipped with heavy machine guns. Here on top, there is a communication mast. That's interesting. So the new Sea Baby drones, according to the Ukrainian Security Service, can travel 1,500 kilometers. They can carry approximately 2 tons of cargo. They have improved engines and modern navigation system. And the new modifications of Sea Baby were built using the funds that were fundraised by Ukrainians at United 24 platform. Just so you know, my friends. Yeah, we have the same footage coming from North Caucasus, Makhachkala. So the Russians are actually reporting that a bunch of drones were shot using like hunting rifles and AKs, but they were not shot enough because they reached their targets one way or another. We could see at least 2 impacts. And also this party that was thrown in Makhachkala by Ukrainian drones actually resulted in Russian airport of Makhachkala being shut down temporarily. Because most obviously they didn't want to, intercept their very own passenger airplanes with their amazing air defenses. All right. Croupier says, yeah, Ukrainian drones could save Taiwan when China invades in a few years. I believe so. I believe that we will be just delivering those drones to our Taiwanese friends massively. Absolutely. Connie Cat, time for Toloka to visit the Crimean Bridge. Yes, I agree on that. I approve. Thomas K, morning from Lithuania, everyone. Morning to the beautiful Lithuania. Martin UK, hello, hello. Yes, let's talk just a bit about this amazing, beautiful Swedish aircraft called Gripen. All right. The one that you can see on your screen looks to me like the latest Gripen with the latest modifications, but I am not sure because I am not a military pilot, all right? So Sweden wants to deliver 120 Gripen aircraft to Ukraine. They will be produced, all right? So besides the most modern aircraft that will be produced, they don't exist yet. They will be built over the past, I don't know, 15 years, maybe. So besides them, Sweden can also sell approximately 10, maybe just a bit more, Gripens of C/D modification. I have no idea. CD modification, which is of course much older than DVD. Joke here, badum, all right. So JAS 39 Gripen E is the latest version of a Swedish fighter jet that is designed by the beautiful, amazing Saab company. Saab builds everything. They build, I believe they even build handguns, but what I know is definitely they build missiles, they build fighter jets, they build all sorts of military airplanes, and also they build amazing turboprop passenger aircraft. All right, so those guys are amazing. We were in Sweden last year and we passed through, I believe, their factory or something. There were a bunch of aircraft that were produced by Saab, and they were standing on or hanging. How to describe it? You gotta go and see it yourself, my friends. Looked amazing. Looked as if they were flying, but on the same place. What kind of magic is that? I don't know. Per Haglind, hello, my friend. And cars, yes. Ray Bobus, yeah. Cars too. Foster Saab investing in Ukraine is great for all of Europe, absolutely. Sandy and Billy, I always thought it was Swedish for Griffon. Frankly speaking, so did I. That's interesting. Yeah, and Alice says that Saab is also going to make AD in Ukraine. Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's return to the updates. Yes, here we can see Ukrainian President Zelensky and Ulf Kristersson, the Prime Minister of this beautiful country. Look at the flags, all right? It's like we're cousins or something. Seriously. This is so cool, actually, you know? Yes, we have some, I would say, disturbing report coming from yesterday's strike, when a Ukrainian family moved from Kyiv to the village of Pogrebi in the Kyiv Oblast because they thought that it will be safer this way. All right. And the whole family died. You can see in the right side of the screen. The mom and kids, and yes, of course, it's a disaster. Nobody is safe when the terrorist missiles and drones are flying over Ukraine. I mean, what kind of safety are we talking about? So yesterday, Finance Minister of the United States, Bessent, stated that United States will tremendously increase their sanctions against the terrorist federation. We will know more about this actually today, maybe this evening, maybe tomorrow. We will see.
Secretary Besson, one more, please. Secretary Besson.
So we are going to either announce after the close this afternoon, or first thing first thing tomorrow morning, a substantial pickup in Russia's sanctions. So you'll have to wait.
That's about the IRS, sir.
Yeah, so he says that substantial pressure will be made on the terrorist federation using sanctions. Also, President Donald Trump actually said the same yesterday.
President, can you tell us a little bit about why you're elevating sanctions against Russia right now?
I just felt it was time. We've waited a long time. I thought that we'd go long before the Middle East. And Mark, as you know, we did the Middle East +7. So we did 7 different wars from Pakistan and India to so many.
President, can you tell us a little bit?
So yeah, he was asked about the sanctions. Of course, he didn't reply anything fucking clearly, because I think he should fucking fire his press service because they don't work enough with him, all right? Oh my God. They should probably advise American president on how to answer the questions properly, so the journalists are not embarrassed but satisfied. Motherfucker. Can I rant a bit about this? Because this is something fucking amazing. Fuck, you have a boss. You work as a communications person, all right? You have a boss. Your task is to make sure your boss doesn't look like imbecile. Even if your boss is imbecile, your task is to make sure he doesn't look like one, all right? Your task is to make your boss a better person, but not like Russians, like literally a better person, and make him look properly on the TV. What kind of stupid asshole you are if you cannot just advise your boss? Please, Mr. President, answer questions properly, all right? Answer questions using facts, numbers, and actual data, all right? That is easy to fact check. Fucking talk about it. Of course, if your spokesperson can only produce shit like your mama jokes, that is exactly what you can expect, all right? When you ask American president about the Russian sanctions, and he goes like, oh, we finished 7 wars and now 9th and 19th and 28th is coming. I don't blame Donald Trump, actually. I blame his fucking communication team, all right? Goldfinger's, he actually showed, the ability to talk facts sometimes, not often, but sometimes, all right? He showed his ability to talk facts when he pronounced, for example, Russian losses, Ukrainian losses here and there. Not like millions of Ukrainian people died, but like the actual data coming from his actual intelligence. There were cases, all right? Rarely, but there were. But his fucking communication team is a bunch of degenerates, in my personal opinion. Yes, the whole world is talking about Trump, but guys, literally just from a professional standpoint, they don't talk about Trump as a freaking leader of the free world. They talk about him as a degenerate, all right? Because his fucking communication team cannot do their work properly. And I am fucking embarrassed, literally as a communication expert myself, all right? I had to deal with different people in my career. Some of them couldn't really talk. Some of them actually had to learn how to answer the questions of the journalists and everything else. And there's nothing wrong about that, because when you work with people, not everyone is born like a like Julius Caesar or Demosthenes or something. No, actually, Demosthenes learned how to talk himself. He couldn't behave properly in public. Yeah, but again, he's a great example. And people are different. Some are good at one thing and they suck at speaking. For example, they don't know how to connect words into proper sentences. But if you are a communication person for the president of your country, fucking do something. Don't embarrass the community of communications experts around the world, please. And stop fucking making the jokes about mama. They are not funny, all right? They tell that your IQ is the fucking level of a seashell during the mating period, all right? Oh my God. I hate this. Let's return to the speech of the American president, shall we?
I think that in terms of honesty, the only thing I can say is every time I speak with Vladimir, I have good conversations, and then they don't go anywhere. They just don't go anywhere. So in that thing.
How to react to this one? Every time I speak to Vladimir, and he's not talking about Zelensky, he's talking about Vladimir, also known as Huilo. He says, every single time I talk to Vladimir, we have a pleasant, beautiful conversation, but it fucking doesn't change anything. Who could have expected? Oh my God. Like, why did you think that something would change? So I tell you this, it's much better to have a very bad and unpleasant, but a conversation that brings some results with Volodymyr Zelensky than having a pleasant ass-kissing, dick-sucking, tea-drinking, vodka-injecting conversation with fucking Vladimir Putin that doesn't bring anything, all right? Sorry for ranting, but I'm still mad about his freaking communication people. The fuck is that? Oh my God. Trump doesn't talk to his communications person, all right? And I think that Caroline Lewitt, or whatever her name is, she might be not like the worst communication specialist or spokesperson ever, all right? Maybe she's not, but she just doesn't talk to her boss a lot, all right? You gotta talk to your boss a lot. You gotta talk to your boss often when you're a communication person. Otherwise, it will be very, very bad for both of you. Holy fuck. Okay, I gotta stop cursing, I gotta stop swearing because, guys, it's not a proper thing, all right? I was a serviceman after all. I'm so embarrassed about that. Okay. What else do we have? So, yesterday in his amazing social media that are actually ran by who the hell knows whom, all right? Trump's social media are definitely not ran by Trump himself, because we all know he doesn't like to read or write much. But we know that someone is running his social media. I believe that this is the Trump Jr., personally. Judging from 3 different styles of his messages in his social media are ran by 3 different people at least, but one thing that I can tell you for sure is that I believe that Trump Jr., that Putin-loving young man, okay, I think that he runs his social media because sometimes the messages that we can read They are too degenerate to be even written by Donald Trump. My God, I'm like deranging a foreign president so much, but it's not what I actually intended to do. What I actually intended to do is to read this message where Donald Trump says that the Wall Street Journal story on the USA's approval of Ukraine being allowed to use long-range missiles deep into Russia is fake news. Basically, yesterday a lot of Ukrainians were like reading a report by WSJ, and they were like, yay, United States allows Ukraine to strike Russian targets deep in their territory, provides us support and everything else. And then the President of the United States himself writes a publication where he basically debunks this. So President Donald Trump says the US has nothing to do with those missiles, wherever they may come from or what Ukraine does with them. Why did he write this message? The reason he wrote this message was because he is very much afraid that his crush, Vlad, otherwise known as Huilo, may be angry at him. Donald Trump doesn't afraid a lot of things, all right? Doesn't afraid. Is not, sorry for my bad English. It sucks a lot, but Donald Trump is not afraid of many things. There are things he's critically afraid of. One of them is to make his crush, Adolf Putin, mad at him, destroy their beautiful friendship. They can talk for 5 fucking hours on the phone, which I think is longer than he talked to his very own wife, in my personal opinion. But this is something he's very much afraid of, to lose this amazing, deep connection between Donald Trump and his crush in Russia. And that is why he writes such messages, just to make sure that his best friend, Russian dictator and internationally wanted war criminal Putin, that killed a bunch of kids yesterday and today with his missiles in Ukraine, that he is not mad at him because it's bad, because they're friends, because basically Putin helped him to become president, all right, one way or another. Let's be honest about that. So he tries to reassure his crush that he's not sending missiles to Ukraine, he's not doing anything bad, all right? Nothing that can actually hurt the feelings of his best friend, Vladimir Putin, the Huilo. We have several more updates, one coming from Chelyabinsk, and Chelyabinsk is in the ass of the terrorist federation. It's actually very, very funny. So in Chelyabinsk there was an explosion reported at a Russian enterprise. Kopeysk, Chelyabinsk Oblast. The reports say that the good Ukrainian drones actually visited Russian plant producing plastic. The distance from this specific plant to Ukraine is approximately 2,000 kilometers, my friends, which is freaking impressive. Check this out. Fucked up Russian music, literally. I cannot listen to this stuff, so I'm sorry. Yeah, but you can see this impressive fireball. That looks kind of cool. All right. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, we have no sound here, but we can see at least one impact. Yeah, one impact that took place In the amazing Russian Chelyabinsk Oblast, Kopeysk, my ass, Kopeysk. Let's probably switch to discussing our favorite topic, all right, which is, of course, the Russian cringe, because sometimes Russians produce... Why am I hearing myself on my phone? What the hell was that? Anyways, it was kind of scary, all right, because all of a sudden I can hear my very own voice coming from my phone, and I didn't do anything. I think someone hacked me. All right, let's talk about the Russian cringe, and let's talk about the story that actually took place in the Russian Telegram environment, all right? And you know, like when spiders are eating each other in the jar, right? So there was an administrator of a channel that belonged to Russian Colonel Puzik, the one that is known in Russia for, I'm sure that you heard this story. He's known in Russia because there were two Russian drone operators. The Russian terrorists called them Ernest and Goodwin. All right, those were their call signs. And it was a famous story in Russia because they sent two drone operators to the infantry, basically, where they died. All right, so the administrator of the channel that actually belongs to the wife of Colonel Puzik, his wife, okay? So here's Colonel Puzik, his wife. Wife has a Telegram channel. The Telegram channel is run by an administrator, just to explain you. So this administrator is posting different messages on behalf of her. And he actually started supporting the murder of Russell Bentley, otherwise known as Donbass Cowboy, the drug dealer that ran from the United States to the terrorist federation and became a terrorist fighting against the Ukrainian government, and then he basically became a Russian propagandist, spreading disinformation aimed at English-speaking population in the internet. And then he married a local woman, and then he died because he was killed by Russians themselves. And it was this very story brings me so many good memories, so many good impressions, because when you talk about Russell Bentley and his specific case, the dude was literally like running around with a camera and recording stuff, talking in English. And because he spoke in English language, a bunch of drunk Russian tankers literally saw him, decided that he was a fucking American spy or some kind of, you know, just a Yankee, and because he speaks English, apparently, according to the Russian logic, he deserves to die, and that's exactly what they did. So when I first made a video about him last year, I received so many commentaries saying that it's a bullshit, and actually, you know, Russell Bentley lives his life as a happy American/Russian person. He's absolutely happy. He has plenty of kids now, you know, on the territory of the Russian Federation in coffin. So how exactly does it work? I have no idea. But when I watch that old video, there's a lot of commentaries, you know, saying that you are lying, you are lying, you are lying. Now, Russian administrator actually justifies his murder, all right? Where he, let me show you his original host. All right. So he says that this American citizen was sniffing around the positions of the 5th Brigade. He was American either volunteer or spy, call sign Texan, call sign Texan, Texas, and Donetsk cowboy. So she says that the patrol stopped him. He didn't speak Russian at all, and also he showed resistance. All right, and they did their direct duties. And now, after the incredible wave of dissatisfaction that started due to this murder in the terrorist federation, the patrol dudes are now being investigated. I have no idea what sort of patrol dudes, because he was literally killed by a bunch of drunk Russian tankers, by a bunch of Russian officers as well. They all had a pleasant time of beating him up. They have, this sort of entertainment there in the terrorist federation. They just beat the shit out of people who support them, and they don't care if they come from freaking Ust-Pizdysk or they come directly from Texas. They just don't care. All right. So that's what she says, or the administrator of her channel is saying. And Russian channel actually reposted her publication and said that the murder of Russell Bentley is being justified by the administrator of the channel of so-called Donetsk volunteers, Katya, Valya, Zhopa, Pizda, and other amazing Russian people. So that's kind of fun, that's kind of cringy, but guys, it's not as cringy as this shit, all right? Now I want to show you something really, really funny, in my personal opinion, because there is a different, how to call this process of, like, when two dogs are like biting each other, or like when a frog is fucking a viper, all right? So that's exactly what we can see happening in the Russian outhouse called Telegram, all right? Unfortunately, I have to use Telegram myself to have, to glance into this outhouse from time to time and deliver some of the useful information. So, administrator of what's her name is? She's a propagandist. Her name is Vitezeva. Okay, she published a shot with Ukrainian soldier. All right, on the right, because when you look at this soldier, you can immediately tell that he's actually Ukrainian. The soldier here on the left, he kind of looks like Soviet soldier. All right, but I cannot tell you, he doesn't have any markings. I cannot even tell if he has any specific weapons to make sure that he's Soviet. But anyways, here you can see Ukrainian soldier. So Russian propagandists published a Ukrainian soldier and said, "Let all the dads return home alive, healthy, and with victory." A very, very warm message to Ukrainian soldiers from a Russian propagandist. Thank you so much. And immediately after that, yes, Jason, pixel camo, but you know that it's pixel camo. I know that it's pixel camo. Yulia Vitezeva, who only saw I don't know, who only saw Putin's face on the television her whole life, she probably doesn't understand much because she's Yulia Vitezeva, all right? What are we talking about? I believe that her IQ is even lower than that of President Trump's spokesperson, all right? Unfortunately. Or fortunately. So, what happened? So Russians started like criticizing her for that because she cannot tell between Ukrainian soldiers and Russian soldiers. She cannot tell the difference, because she doesn't know, and they started criticizing her. She changed her position immediately. And the thing is that she's not a native Russian. She has a Ukrainian origin. All right. But I would just show you something really cool, okay? Because it wasn't the only time when the Russian imbeciles or pro-Russian imbeciles actually did such a mistake, all right? Let's just watch it together because it's absolutely amazing. So, for example, Day of the Great Victory. Here you can see this amazing Russian statue. I think this statue is located somewhere in like Leningrad. I can be wrong, but I think this one comes from the Leningrad. All right. Let me just zoom it for you if I can. Hopefully. And you can see there is a bunch of soldiers running into attack. That's a Russian banner from real terrorist federation. And if you check out, for example, those helmets, all right, the day of the great victory, the text says on this banner. And for some reason, it of course portrays like not really Russian soldiers, but something different. I don't know. Here they have like a whole collection. It's actually from a dude in the Live Journal. I had Live Journal myself in like 2008. Then I closed it because it's a Russian shit. But this dude, for example, compiled a bunch of such cases, and for example, all these Zaharonino, the fuckers don't speak their language properly. And for example, here he shows all the typos, all right, all the mistakes that the Russian imbeciles made. S praznikom, they lost a letter here. That's absolutely amazing. Yeah, like they don't even speak their language, guys. There's people in Latvia, for example, all right, that are mad. We live in 30 years in here, and now they want to test our language, and we cannot pass the tests, and we have to go home. Motherfuckers cannot even learn their very own fucking language, so they make their banners dedicated to like the greatest page in the Soviet history with plenty of mistakes because they're dumb. Because apparently when your school is falling apart, you don't really feel like studying in it, right? And there in Europe, they're nagging that they are asked to learn a different language. They are unable to do that, my friends. So there's a bunch of those... a bunch of grammatic mistakes, but also very funny mistakes. All right, like here, for example, this medal, and you know that Russians are actually like producing those medals every single day. Medal with happy birthday, medal with, I don't know, walking the dog and stuff like that. So they produced another medal because medals are never enough, all right? They produced a medal that is called "To a Winner of the Blockade of the Leningrad." So it turns out that you can actually win a blockade. Like the example joke is very, very like actually funny in my opinion. Like winner of the blockade. Do you know about the, like, have you ever heard about the Dead Sea? I killed it, all right? Kinda cringy. So, когда фашисты захватили Ленинград, when the fascists took Leningrad, fuck that stuff. This one is really cool. It's like a coffin carrier, all right? This vehicle is a coffin carrier, and it says, "Thank you, grandfather, for your victory." The farewell convoy, all right? Kind of fun. But let's switch to Вымела да нечисть. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like I'm just impressed with the amount of the mistakes they make in words, in their very, very own language. We remember the glorious victories over Germany in 1945, over Khazaria 1045 years ago, and that's, by the way, Ukrainian Duke Sviatoslav, and over China more than 6,500 years ago. So interesting to see, you know, those alternative historians in the terrorist federation. Yeah, Ali, that was a meat wagon, exactly. Yeah, over China more than 6,500 years ago. In the Middle Earth, approximately 100,000 years ago, all right, when the orcs actually attacked this beautiful city of Minas Tirith, all right, and yeah, they kind of claimed their victory, but then the Silmarils emerged and everything else. So it's a different story, but Russians remember that one, all right. Russians remember how their Tsar was, you know, sitting in the smithery, all right, and literally making those rings for elves, for people, for dwarves, and everybody else. This is amazing. Like, seriously, this is like the coolest banner I have ever seen. But it's not all, my friends. Just so you could... but wait. Yeah, here they switched the picture. They swapped the photo. Here they swapped two generals because they are degenerates, all right? They don't know which is which. The hell is that? That is something insane. My god. Покрышкин. That's Кожедуб, actually. Yeah. And the fuck is he flying? Is that IL-2 штурмовик? Actually, no, it's not. It's Bell P-39 or R-39. Oh my god. This is so Russian style, my friends, all right? 2013, a year of 3 times hero of the Soviet Union, the honorable citizen of Novosibirsk. I would never trade my my life for, you know, or anyone's else life to become a honorable citizen of Novosibirsk. That shit is insane by itself, all right? Like, my dear friend, congratulations. You are an honorable citizen of Novosibirsk. That's fucking insane. But Marshal of the Aviation, Mr. Покрышкин. All right, the Russians are, remember our glorious heroes. Remember their faces, because they fought for us, they sacrificed for us. This is the glorious Russian hero Покрышкин, who shot down 25,000 German aces in the Soviet skies and shit like that. The problem is not, it's not Покрышкин, that's actually Kazhedub. So Покрышкin is here on the right and Kazhedub on the left. And so actually they also chose IL-2 Sturmovik to illustrate the shit, despite the fact that none of them actually operated this airplane. But who the fuck cares? This is Russian history. They write all sorts of shit in there. If you read Russian history, you can read that, for example, Russians were fighting Chinese 10,000 years ago, right? Anyways, Yak-3 was the aircraft that they actually flew, all right, here on the left. And this one is this one is fuck it. So Russian bank called Solidarność decided to post its very own, to design its very own billboard dedicated to the Russian Victory Day, and instead of Russian aircraft, they published P-51 Mustang, all right, on this image. For real? They didn't even change the fuckers are like, oh, Russian aircraft had stars, and they see an aircraft with the star and some kind of, that, what was the name of that girl? Anyways, a girl like that sees an aircraft with stars, and she's like, oh, must be a Soviet aircraft. And she literally just takes the photo and snaps it straight into their propagandist banner. So beautiful. But again, it's just so you could understand the level of fucking mental problems that they have, all right? Here, for example, hero of the Soviet Union from Mordovia, Romanov Mikhail Yakovlevich, all right? Here you can see his picture, all right, on this photo. Turns out that he actually flew like B-17 Super Fortress, right? How cool is that, my friends? How cool is that? Oh my god. This is so amazing. Like this is the original image. Again, just so you could understand, the Russians are fucked up in terms of history, in terms of Russian patriotic cringe. Yeah, exactly. In terms of history, in terms of rewriting history, in terms of designing their freaking billboards and whatever. So here, for example, they show this amazing billboards, all right, dedicated to glorious Soviet tankers. But for some reason, Australian tank Sentinel is also there on the picture. I don't really remember if Australian Sentinels were shipped to the Soviet Union, but for some reason I doubt that, all right? Here, for example, Already 2 Russian cities decided to glorify the American M24 Chaffee. First is, of course, Russian St. Petersburg. Check this out, all right? Like, and they say, thanks to Grandpa for victory. I believe that some of those American guys who came to help you could actually be your grandpa, like literally. All right, and also Ulan-Ude, glorifying the same American tank on their flag, on their billboard. Oh my God, how cool is that? This is amazing. This is amazing. What else? Yeah, so this is a bunch of American torpedo carriers Grumman, all right, as far as I can tell. But again, you can see them on the Russian billboard because they don't give a fuck. They don't care what this shit. There must be an aircraft, black and white photo, fucking Russian star, 9th of May and the Glory Day, and a bunch of people drinking vodka. That woman, oh my God, like this one, is like bent over, not because she talks to her kid, but apparently because of like intoxication. And yeah, and they will be happy, all right, because of all that. So yeah, here you can see the American aircraft called Avenger, a torpedo carrier produced by Grumman. And here we have glory to the heroes of motherland, and there they are on the picture as well. Guys, you probably understand why Pete Hegseth is wearing the Russian flag on his necktie, because Russians love America so much. They glorify American tanks, they glorify American aircraft, they post American bombers and lie everyone that actually Russian aces were flying those. What else? Here, this is like, is this a Texan? T6 Texan, I think. Let me know if I'm right, all right? Because that's like another billboard. Yeah, 1945, 2010, what? 1941, 1945. The Victory Day. Oh, that's very good, actually. So you can see this billboard, right? You can see this billboard. Okay? Keep it in mind, my friends. Keep this billboard in mind. Okay? Because here we have the original billboard. All right. We all can read English, right? We clear the way. The Corps of Engineers, United States Army. How do you like that? They even fucking stole this billboard from the United States Army. Even despite the fact that Russian propaganda actually produced so many their own billboards and stuff like that. And also in Krasnodar, for example, they glorify the American engineers so well. Guys, you have no idea how much you are respected by Russians in reality, that actually snatch all sorts of your technologies, your posters and everything else. The hell is this? So this is M46 Patton, again, American tank. 9th of May, the day of the great victory. Fuyuma, you are not cringed out enough yet, okay? Because there's so much to see. Here, all right, we have like American tank as well on those images. This one is interesting. Okay. Voronezh in 2015 glorified the American Walker Bulldog tank. Oh, look at this one. The dog is stretching. Oh my god. How cool is that? Because when you forget your own history, you have absolutely no right to have future. All right, and history proves the same shit over and over again. And this is actually a double cringe, my friends, because on the photo there is American tank called Walker Bulldog, and Russians took this tank for a different tank even, because they wrote a publication of that. They said that in Voronezh Oblast, a poster dedicated to the 9th of May is decorated with American tank, and they call this tank Pershing, but it's not Pershing, it's a bulldog. Fucking... Oh, guys, do you recognize this amazing photo? Please raise your hands if you do, all right? The Soviet soldiers are planting the flag on the Iwo Jima island. How do you like this alternative history? And of course, they, instead of American flag, they have like that sickle and hammer and everything else. How do you like that? Russia has like the best propaganda in the world. My ass. They just have a lot of money to spread this propaganda. But generally speaking, that shit is insane. So that's absolutely amazing. And before this happened, the Muromsk administration was also sending the same picture to their citizens. All right, 9th of May. Or here, for example, 1st of May, the Russian communist holiday, actually, it originated in the communist times. So 9th of May, Day of Victory, 1st of May is the Day of Labor, and they basically have the same photo of American American soldiers planting the flag in the Iwo Jima. How beautiful is that? Then they decided to use the poster from the World in Conflict computer game with basically a similar image, the similar meaning. All right. Call of Duty, 65 years of great victory. That's amazing. Oh. So, Alexander Slatkovsky, this is like a billboard of a Russian artist and stuff. The concert is dedicated to the great victory. Here you can see for example, American aircraft. That one, the resolution of the image sucks, actually. But the fact is that's a German armored personnel carrier. And also this one, I believe, an American airplane as well. So this one is American torpedo carrier and bomber Avenger. This one is Deutsch armored personnel carrier SD KFC 251 and British fighter Defiant. Here you can see this up close, all right? And the fuck actually put all this, like obviously German APC, right? The fuck literally put all this on his banner, all right, on his billboard. How beautiful is this? Such an interesting fact, by the way, that here we have Americans, Germans, British, but not a single Russian person on that picture, on this banner, besides like this fuck himself. Anyways, what else do we have? So, for some reason, the Russians are convinced that this is exactly how you portray the veterans of the World War II, all right? You have no right to forget, and this woman, right? Guys, please let me know who recognizes this woman, okay? Please let me know, because I'm sure that some of you have seen her, all right? Because this woman on the Russian banner, for some reason, she's like asking you to sign the contract. My God. Russians ashamed of their own shit, so they have to post someone else's stuff. Yes, but also they don't really remember, like, most of their story. So, and generally speaking, they don't even care, all right? Some of them, though, have actually very good sense of humor because, for example, Russians have this classic wartime movie called Only the Old Men Go to War, or something like that, hard to translate. And some of them literally take, for example, the characters of the American show Supernatural, because only the dead men go into the combat. Anyways, it's hard to explain, this amazing amazing sense of the Russian humor. But one thing that's actually very, very hard to understand is how exactly, for example, they congratulate the Soviet soldiers with 9th of May, the day of victory. At the same time, we can see palm trees growing behind their backs. What the hell is that? Like here, for example, there's like those veterans and literally palm trees growing behind their backs on the photo. So the answer is this is actually American soldier at the Guam Island, all right? And he's not Russian, but generally, who the fuck gives a slightest damn about it? Like, what sort of Russian person will check facts, right? Who will? And is that M1 Garant, I think? Something like that. This one is very funny because here, for example, you can see these brave American soldiers on the left actually shooting these brave Soviet veterans on the right. The composition of this billboard is absolutely fucking amazing. I love it. All right, and of course we're talking about American soldiers because on this billboard, the designer of this billboard actually used the American soldiers because, again, my friends, who the fuck cares, right? Russians don't give a fuck. History, fuckstory, like they don't give a slightest shit about that. You need a billboard, find a soldier, black, white photo, it doesn't matter if he has like star, swastik on his, on his epaulets or on his vehicle, doesn't matter, all right? We will tell them that they're ours and everything will be fine. Oh, so let's continue because this is so good, all right? And not a lot of people will actually understand why are we laughing so bad, all right? Yeah, so these brave American soldiers, here, for example, we can see the Belarusian hanging the Russian flag, the Soviet flag on the Reichstag, the Kremlin, and everything else. And again, those brave American soldiers who initially were fighting against Japanese, but then most probably they decided, fuck that, let's fight for Russians in Vyazma, you know. Okay, next up. The hell is that? So they decided to make a compilation of the wartime songs. Okay, for example, on a vinyl plates, and they actually did like all those songs. They are obviously Soviet, all right. They were sang in the war times. But again, you can see some like American ninjas who just emerged there for some reason, you know, because now it's our common victory, right? So those are American soldiers bravely marching into the combat on the Russian compilation of songs. The hell is that? That's amazing. That's absolutely beautiful. We cannot stop the time, but we can preserve the memory. But the fact is, even memory they cannot fucking preserve, all right? Because there on the image you can see obviously Grumman aircraft and American soldiers standing there. How cool is that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is like Russian bingo, all right? Russian победобесие bingo, Russian victor orgy bingo. Let's check this out. They call it the great deed of the great people, 1941-1945. Okay, some of the photos are absolutely legit. All right. The great sacrifice of the Russian people. Now, who is this guy? Is he like showing like how did the Russian sacrifice look from the other side? I have no idea. But I'm sorry, I just can't stop laughing. Oh, and the reason we even started like watching all these images was a single Russian imbecile who congratulated Ukrainian soldiers and wished all Ukrainian parents to come back, you know, healthy and safe. Thank you so much. The only problem is that like that imbecile didn't even look what the Russian soldiers looked like. But anyways, so this is here you can see original picture. Again, American soldier like throwing a grenade, because of course let's glorify the great sacrifice of the Soviet people. 9th of May, the Victory Day. Of course it is. Of course it is. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's just so... That is amazing. Hard to understand what they're writing there. But, now I see. Now I see. This is... So, they say... On this billboard, they are showing like the city, the streets of the liberated Vyazma, all right? But the fact is, this very building on the billboard is not Vyazma. That's actually Vienna, all right? That's in Austria, and also they. For example, they're saying that this is like Vienna, but it's not, because this is the Prague Bridge. But again, who the fuck cares? They are Russians, all right? That's a culture that doesn't care about their history at all. So, as far as I can tell, wait a second. That's the World War I, isn't it? Like this image that they took for their poster, not just, it's not Russian soldiers, but they're not even from the World War II, they're from the World War I. But again, who the fuck cares, right? First World War, Second World War, who gives a damn? Seriously. Your sacrifice is immortal. We remember you. Glory to the heroes. Glory to the heroes. What sort of people are those? Who had those, back in the times of the World War I? Please let me know. The Victory Day, 1940. Jesus Christ. That's like the markings on the airplane, all right? Victory Day. Guys, they enjoy congratulating you across the pond so much with their Victory Day. Of course, they also say that they would win the victory, like they would win against Germans without you, all right? Like they were proud Russian people who didn't need your Lend-Lease, anything else, but they just love portraying your aircraft and snatching your pictures so bad. The hell is this? Thank you. Thank the grandpa for the victory. Apparently some amazing Russian designer is thanking his American grandpa for victory in Korea, somewhere. That's what I see, judging from this billboard again. That's just so beautiful. This is so amazing. Dear veterans of the 1945-2012, what the fuck is this? First of all, I cannot understand. And secondly, here, for example, they made like a tiny compilation. And on this picture, for example, they are showing the so-called T point of the Red Cross during the First World War. Of course, it's really interesting. Like it's a legit tea point where you could drink tea. it's a World War One, but it's not the fucking World War Two. Then they also smacked a picture of pre-war P5. But why? And the third picture here, where they congratulate the veterans of the Russian Great Patriotic War. Like you can see like this gentleman on the stretcher, right? That's actually a Vietnam photo. They are very thankful to your for your service in Vietnam, my dear American friends. The fact that this billboard was designed by students of the fourth year of magister. Anyways, the dudes had higher education, the ones who designed this shit. Okay, they could not even tell that most probably like the uniform doesn't look like the Russian uniform, like the Soviet uniform. This guy doesn't look like a Soviet soldier. I'm sorry, but it's a fact. We didn't have a lot of soldiers like this American hero here, for example. Guys, they snatched a picture from American war in Vietnam. The fuck? What the fuck? But again, they don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit? Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Let me see. So, is that the flag of the Russian Federation? Because it looks weird. This one too. The hell? I don't know. The Soviet flag in the Russian school number 80 is silently turning into the Chinese flag, but again, who gives a shit? All right. Who gives a shit? Red flag, we have red flag. The star, we have the star. The fact that it's actually a Chinese flag, nobody cares. Oh, but guys, the rest of this, let's just dedicate the rest of my of our stream to this, because it's just so beautiful. So the rest of the compilation is actually showing the cases when Russians confused the Soviets and the Nazi Germans, because here, for example, dear citizens of Kaliningrad, 23rd of February, we are celebrating one of the primary holidays in the country, and we honor our veterans, and we are proud with the heroic history of Russia and glorious sacrifices and blah blah blah. And look what they have here, all right, on this banner. Special words of gratitude are spoken to the veterans of the front. Your my God, dedication and blah 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 to the motherland, your bravery and courage managed to protect our motherland during the times of the Great Patriotic War. What sort of motherland are they talking about? Like Das Reich or something. Anyways. So they made a bunch of stickers, right, dedicated to the 9th of May. Okay, the hell is this? That's question number 1, and the question number 2 is why the Abrams tank is there as well, all right? The Abrams tank with its turret turned just a bit. I don't know. Nobody knows. Oh, this is so good. This one is fun, actually. So this is a magnet. It says "I love Russia" there on this tank. But tell me, what is wrong with this tank? And generally with this little tiger coming out of the hatch. How do you think? And it actually says "I love Russia." So you can buy those magnets in the Terrorist Federation. All right. So 2014, Moscow, the Belarusian train station. The memorial shield was installed that was also decorated with Mauser 98K with the German carbine. How beautiful is this? And the veterans were actually invited to participate in the opening of this memorial sign, and they were the first who actually pointed at the mistake. They said, guys, it's literally German rifle, all right? So later they decided to remove the Mauser carbine from that sign. So here, for example, congratulations with the Victory Day. And T-34 tank, right? Only it's not. It's really not T-34, and the soldiers on that image are not actually Soviet soldiers, you know, judging from their uniforms and judging from this very, very tank itself. They're not. Here, for example, Happy Victory Day, they say, the Chelyabinsk tractor factory. And on this picture, you can see like, I'm trying to read the text as well. It's just so crazy. It's as if the tractor maker Hans is saying, yes, we started building better tanks. My God. "60 years of the great victory." Again. Памяти павших будем вечно достойны. We will be worthy the memory of those who fell, of those who sacrificed their life. And of course they post photos of German bikers. How beautiful is that? It's literally because they don't give a shit, my friends. I think we already spent like 1 hour of the stream literally just scrolling through these masses of Russian mistakes, Russian banners that were massively produced in the Terrorist Federation. Here, LA-5 Russian fighter, Soviet fighter, the designer is Lavachkin, all right? The weapon of victory, it says here in the lower part of this billboard. And there you can see a bunch of those aircrafts on the background. But the fact is, those aircraft on the background turn out to be not La-5, right, but German Junkers. How do you like that? Mops has gone real human beings here, absolutely. How do you like that? This is so exciting, my friends. I don't know, I enjoy this so much. The hell is that? So yeah, they made another billboard and they say that actually Russian pilots helped the Yugoslavian patriots, and again they show the German Junkers aircraft, and one on like literally the billboard portraying, you know, the big Russian sacrifice of. Why are they changing those now? Like it's 1941 2015, then it's like 1944 2000 whatever. What the hell? Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Thank you, Grandpa, for your victory. All right, this is just mwah, mwah. I love this one. Thank you, Grandpa, for your victory. Okay, and they add this romantic text saying, instead of heart, you have a burning motor. All right, and the Messerschmitt over there. And they don't care. They literally don't give a slightest fuck about it. Because why? So there are actually Italian pilots here on this picture. It's not funny. It's tragic actually. And here we can see the billboards. That is Перекресток Express. Is this like some network? Anyways, they congratulate you with the Victory Day. At least they wrote the numbers properly. All right, not like 1958 2015. No, they all right. They admit that the Russian Patriotic War started 1941 and 1945. Okay, but why the hell did they put a German tank on it? Because as far as I can tell, that looks like Panther. Is it Panther? Yeah, it is. Why? All right. Let it be. Let it be. So, yeah, like another piece of the German tank on the Russian billboard. Nobody cares because that's a tiny one. So they decided to illustrate in Cheboksary, all right, in Cheboksary, they decided to illustrate a Russian billboard with a German mortar from the American Museum, all right, because why not? In 2015, oh my, guys, I'm afraid I will be laughing so bad right now. I need to puff, all right? Let's make a tiny pause because the next one will literally destroy you. I shit you not. let me just take a puff, because that one is. Whew, okay. I'm preparing not to laugh really loud, all right? And frankly speaking, I'm having such a good time here. I need to finish editing video in just a couple hours and send the ready one, but I cannot stop, all right? Because this is just so beautiful. Like, I didn't even expect that our stream will be so good this morning. I expected it to be good, but I didn't expect to laugh that bad, all right? Okay, let me breathe just a bit. Let me drink coffee, have a puff, and then I will show you something else. Oh, because if I start laughing, not even Mabahandula will be able to stop me, all right? And that will be deadly, absolutely. Oh, there's his like beak sticking out around the corner. Whew. Okay, friends, please be prepared, okay? Please be prepared, because the next one will tear you apart. Okay, let's breathe just a bit. Actually, I saw that one in so many cases. Like the next mistake was made by the Russian designers so many times. Oh, I anticipate that it's gonna start right now. All right. So they fought for motherland, they say, in Ivantiivka, all right? Ivantiivka, Russian Ust-Pizduysk. They fought for motherland, the freedom of people. They kind of did. They actually fought for their motherland. Oh my God. Please don't hurt. Oh. It hurts so bad. So, this is the crew of the German bomber U-88. Oh, my God, this is just so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Nothing can compare to this. They fought for motherland. Ivantiivka became a fucking star of the show, seriously. Where the fuck is even located Ivantiivka? Oh my God. All right. Like I literally feel this giggle building up, inside of myself. All right. 9th of May, the Great Victory Day. All right. Oh my God. Okay. First of all, thank you. Thank you for the Russian flag upside down. Thank you very much. We like doing this shit from time to time. This is Cheboksary, by the way. This just so you could imagine, right? This is beautiful Russian Cheboksary, and the billboard is, first of all, the Russian flag is upside down. All right, Fuyuma already noticed the helmet, right? Something wrong with this helmet. Doesn't look right. And yeah, they say 9th of May, the Victory Day, and everything else. So this is the original picture, okay? The original picture. Oh my God. Let me just... Let's breathe. Let's breathe, my friends. This is so good. Whew. But one thing I should mention, One thing I should mention is that actually Russians like this German soldier on this photo so much. So they actually use him in different billboards. Here, for example, they have 9th of May is a day of a great victory, they say on this beautiful Russian banner in the colors of blood. And here you can see pretty much the same German soldier throwing a grenade at Russians. Oh, this is so good. Yeah, so also the author of this compilation is saying that the designer, the Russian designer, realized that apparently one German on this picture is not enough, so he also added 3 American soldiers on the background. And on the left we have a Sherman tank. Okay. How cool is that? That's otherworldly, all right? And this is the original picture. But again, who gives a slightest damn? Like, you can see Russians literally drinking or taking a leak next to that banner, looking at all that and going like, who the fuck are those people? Where's my vodka? You know, they don't care. Whew. Oh my God. Okay, so here is some kind of like Russian promotion. Russian promotion for what sort of MTS, Russian mobile cell. All right, Russian mobile network. And they created this beautiful promotion showing that you can pick some kind of icon and order whatever tariff you want to have. All right, and they created a bunch of patriotic titles for those tariffs. And of course, they created the graphics. Guys, this is МТС, Московская... Московская... Что-то там, whatever. That is a Russian mobile operator. First thing that you probably already noticed is the German helmet, all right? And second thing that you may probably noticed is that the tank on the photo doesn't really look like T-34, all right? Actually, it looks like a tiger, but who cares? Nobody gives the slightest fuck. So eventually they, of course, changed the tiger and the German helmet from this promotion, because apparently they realized that it's kind of cringy. Oh, so... oh my God. Here you have this amazing infographics. Let me just remove my my ugly face from this photo. I just want you to see it properly, all right? They say the paths of victory, the All Russian Conference, all right? And basically they made a billboard, all right, to advertise it. The paths of victory. I am not sure, and this one, by the way, took place in Crimea, all right? In Crimea, already after it was occupied. And check this out, the paths of victory. In Crimea, they were actually talking about the glorious path of Field Marshal Erich von Manstein, all right? Because that's him, like over there on the photo. And that's his original picture. But again, who gives a fuck? Nobody does. Nobody does. Okay, just oh my god, I have this. Whew, okay, breathe. I'm sure you already noticed something wrong, right? I gotta breathe because the next one will tear me apart, I swear. Whew. Let's just breathe. Seriously, I feel like I'm gonna either lose my conscious. I'm gonna either faint or just die. All right, but I gotta prepare for this one. Mabahandula, stay with me. I need your support. Oh, this is so beautiful. I'm so grateful to the person who collected all that because I decided to make such a compilation myself one time, but that would take me years probably. Whew, all right, let me puff real quick. Guys, please prepare. Please prepare. All right. Guys, I'm fucking tired of laughing. What the hell is going on? I'm seriously, I cannot do that anymore, but we have to. Therefore, so this amazing banner, that's actually a quote from Alexander Twardowski, Andrei Twardowski. Who the fuck cares? So, you will never find a friendship. Pardon. Nowhere the friendship can be found as sacred as the one that only happens at war. And here you can see like two amazing teenagers from Hitler Jugend and these Russian veterans. What exactly are they trying to say with that? Oh, great Russian propaganda. I have no idea. Are like Russian propagandists recruited, from people who do those banners, or they all just go and die in Bakhmut somewhere? That is insane. But like this one, you will not find a friendship that can be more holy and sacred than the friendship that happens on the war. Two Hitler Jugend guys and like two Soviet veterans. This shit is insane. Oh my god. That's just Happy Victory Day, 9th of May. Tell me what's wrong here, all right? Oh my fuck. Oh my god. We are so fucking happy that they are such imbeciles. Dear God, thank you so much. Actually, I am not the biggest believer, but now I know Jesus loves us because that cannot happen by itself. Oh. This one is interesting. This one is interesting. So this is the KV-1 tank that was taken by Germans, and it was equipped with German turrets, and it was also used by Germans against the Soviets. Like that's a real history, like a real story of this tank. This is so cool. So Yekaterinburg, the day of the great victory. Again, they say like 1945, 2012. Who gives a fuck? All right. So what the hell is that? is that in the lower part of this image? That's something interesting. That's something interesting. Yeah, so actually this billboard, it was criticized by the locals. The locals actually realized the problem with this image. All right. So the Panther, the tanks, they were the trophy tanks, and actually the guys on this photo that are standing on those Panther tanks and like waving their helmets, they're actually like Soviet guys, all right? But the problem is, looking at this picture, you can recognize only the German tanks on it. So it's kind of cringy, all right? Like even the photo is legit, it's kind of cringy. Oh, this is so good. Okay, I expect that we are pro. Oh my god. Oh no. This is Kaparu. Ah no, maybe that's just the watermark. Whew, guys. This one is amazing. So in Perm, all right, in Perm, in the Russian Perm, they created another poster dedicated to 65 years, and that's like a calendar, all right? And if you take a look at those amazing pictures here in the middle, like they say glory to the Red Army, glory and honor and shit like that. But you can also notice like this lonely man right here in the middle, all right? This lonely man wearing a metal helmet. I think you will not find a living human being on this planet that doesn't recognize this machine gunner, all right? Like it's just impossible to not recognize this one, because this image is absolutely famous. And what else do they have here? Ah, that's one. Oh my god, so this is so interesting. Like, here you can see, of course, are those Americans? Seems so. Same here, by the way. They don't look like Russian helmets generally. I might be wrong though. But here, for example, you can see T-34. That is like literally T-34. But the original picture comes from the Waffen-SS soldiers who actually captured Soviet T-34 tank during the war. That's interesting. Ah, no, they're not even American soldiers. They are also German soldiers. So these guys on the right side, they are also German. So the designer was asked, why the fuck did you do that? All right? The designer replied that he couldn't find more выразительный, how to say it. He said, I couldn't find the faces of the Russian soldiers that would be telling the story, all right? So that was the answer from the Russian degenerate designer who actually designed a calendar with those guys. And yes, I was right. So in the left part of that image, there were, of course, American soldiers with flamethrowers and all that stuff. In Tver, we also have what the hell? Okay, in Tver, we have this guy, all right, like this guy on the picture. I think the dude who designed this billboard was actually drunk, most probably. Like, they didn't even care that they didn't even care to check out his uniform. That's just, oh my god, my friends, I cannot laugh anymore. Seriously, I'm tired of just giggling. I cannot do it physically. It's a torture, but we should make it happen, all right? We should watch it until the end. Oh, happy holiday! All right, and here's the actual photo. All right, like they don't look like the soldiers of the Red Army. They just don't. Hard to find the original, but 100% not Red Army. Thank you for the peaceful sky above our heads. That's interesting. But again, why did they put the German soldiers on these billboards? Like, when you look at these billboards, for example, from the standpoint of like Russian person who doesn't give a shit about their very own history, of course you can see this heroic picture with German soldiers bravely dragging their what do they drag? Looks like an anti-tank cannon to me, because why not? A German soldier writing a letter home. This is amazing. This is amazing. Oh my god, Oryol. So this is in the Russian city of Oryol. They put this boy on the photo, all right? The photo says, "The victory of my grandpa is my victory." So first of all, it turns out that he has a lot of grandpas, actually. Judging from this picture, this boy is literally a medical sensation and he has like too many grandpas. On the other hand, who knows, maybe this is how it works in the Terrorist Federation. And again, if you take a closer look at this picture, it turns out that he has like a very, very widespread family, actually. He's like a child of love between the Soviet people and the people of Germany. As far as I can tell, because those guys don't look like they are Ivans and Afanasis at all. Oh, and the text, you know, like you see those smiling faces of the German soldiers and this smiling kid who says, "My victory," in Russian language. Oh my god. Please stop me, people. I cannot do it anymore. Oh, remember the sacrifices of the war, all right? Remember the great Soviet sacrifice of the war. Tell me what's wrong here. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, okay. Whew. Breathe, breathe, Andrew. Breathe, Andrew. I will be proud. No, I will be hero like my great granddad. This smiling Russian toddler says, he says that he will be a hero like his great granddad. So first of all, let's check out one of his great granddads, right? All right, I think that you already recognize like this one. The hell is that like over here next to his shoulder? Yeah, so one of his great granddads is already recognized. He was a machine gunner in the German army. So his other grandpa, judging from the photo, all right, on that beautiful, amazing banner, is actually, those are the Germans that check the ropes that will be used to hang red partisans. Oh my God, I feel it coming. Okay, whew, breathe. Goose frappa. Goose blah blah. All right, I'm calm. I'm relaxed. Oh, this is fantastic. Look at this kid. All right. Look at the Germans on this banner, like literally checking the ropes before hanging Russian partisans. Look at one of his grandparents. That's just too much. Oh my God. Whew, breathe. Okay. All right. So this is Alapayevsk. Here the fascists. Here the German soldiers, the Nazi Germans are not just fighting. Here they're even like marching. All right. Marching victoriously. Like you look at this image, you immediately see German helmets, and of course you immediately see the German eagle on the photo, all right? Not the German eagle, the Nazi eagle, all right? Oh, I need to breathe. Okay. And of course, you can see this billboard basically designed by some drunk Russian person. To the defenders of the motherlands in all times. Great helmet, bro. Where did you get it? Turns out that's, guys, that's not just an ordinary soldier. That's actually Werner Goldberg, the Wehrmacht soldier who was awarded, not awarded, he was like a model of the ideal German soldier, all right? Here's his original picture. Whew. Guys, we have to go to the very end of this compilation. It's a must. Okay, it's a must. 65 years of the great victorious holiday. Whew. Oh my God. Oh my God, are you for real? Oh. I mean, what you can see on this big board is basically here, behind this statue, you can see the Russian IS-2 tank actually burning, all right? And the German soldiers, the APC called SD KFZ 251, the author of this compilation says that the motherland, the statue, is showing this whole shit and screaming silently, you know, because there's a big and good reason to scream in horror looking at this, of course. That is just so amazing. A beautiful typo made by a governor of Volgograd Oblast, Nikolai Maksyuta. They made a funny typo, actually, okay? It happens. So they made an address, a holiday address, where they congratulated the veterans and citizens of Volgograd with the 62nd anniversary of destroying of Soviet troops under Stalingrad. Dear veterans and dear citizens of Volgograd, warmly congratulating you with the 62nd anniversary of obliteration of Soviet troops near Stalingrad. Apparently he meant something different, of course. I mean, it happens sometimes. Sometimes, you know, it's like that. Like you're very, very drunk, all right? And you're trying to remember a word. Happens to me all the time. Not because I'm drunk. It's literally because I'm naturally stupid. But specifically, if you're drunk, it happens all the time. You're trying to remember a word, and then you kind of remember a different word. But it's a different word. But because you're fucking drunk and you just had like a whole bottle of window washing liquid, you think, oh fuck, obliteration of the Russian, of the Soviet troops. Yes, that might be the word. That's... but their propaganda is so good. Goldfingers, I don't know what to tell you, my friends. I have no idea. Ooh, oh my god, I will just... Okay, let's keep going, all right? 65 years of the great victory. Immediately. You can see German tank here, all right? This is 2015, the day of the great victory. Again, like this screaming face of the statue of, you know, like Russian mother, the fatherland. Steve, thank you very much for staying with us. We will be going to bed shortly, you know, or like we will be finishing this stream as well. But thank you for staying with us. So yeah, you can see this this absolutely terrified face of Russian mother, the fatherland, which basically shows the way to the advanced German troops on the picture. Yes, JD Maka, it just keeps going. It doesn't stop. Because, you know, like... Oh my god, we finished this one. My friends, I'll probably stop torching you as well. Like, I had several more updates that I wanted to talk about. We will talk about those just a bit later, all right? Just in the evening, we will talk about those. There's a lot of things to mention, but I don't want to keep you occupied for such a long while. Oh my god. I swear, I won't be laughing until 2027. Nothing will be able to make me laugh. besides Mabahandula probably, but we will see. Whew. It's impossible. I don't know what to say. I feel empty on the inside, my friends, literally. That just... I have another compilation, actually, because while preparing this stream for you, I thought, like, maybe that one will not be enough, you know? And I prepared another compilation. Of course, I think there's a lot of things that repeat from this one, but I just don't know. Seriously, life sucks. Life is so depressing right now because I cannot laugh anymore. Oh my God. Literally, my stomach is on fire because it was like the best six-pack workout that I could expect this year. Jesus Christ. Phew. Okay. Guys, I will go. Thank you so much. It was amazing. I didn't expect like this compilation to be so... Oh my God. The one with... Before I go, let's check out my favorite one, because this one is this one is my all-time favorite. I think wait a minute, where was it? Yes. Let's talk about the true friendship. Let's before this stream ends, I just want us all remember about the true friendship, the one that originates at the front lines of the war and lasts forever, my friends. Which, by the way, we are just like that. We are the wartime friends and family. All right, because basically the big tragedy of the war that takes place in Ukraine, that is brought to Ukrainian soil, is the very reason we know each other, and also it's the very reason we can actually laugh at this fucking shit. Friends forever, you know, BFF. Guys, I gotta turn off before I fucking explode. I cannot do this anymore. I swear, my belly hurts so bad. Oh my God, my dear friends, see you later. We'll see you tonight. I will have a different stream with D.W. Phillips, who will explain a lot of things about the US politics. God, I gotta close this window. I keep watching at those guys. Oh my God. See you later, my friends. I cannot do this anymore. Be safe and bye-bye.